You want to scoot down so you can actually be seen?
No, I'm good.
It's gonna work walking to the bank like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt's getting his mask.
Okay.
It's really pretty short.
Yeah, it should be.
We're gonna baseball game in Smithfield, too.
My daughter's always all the way too, so.
Oh, that's another deal. You probably heard. So, you probably know.
Okay.
There's a lot of disgruntled. Probably more than that.
We're waiting on Matt. So.
He said he does, but he left it in the truck. So he's like one of those walking into Walmart and goes, ah.
I thought about it after we left the house, I didn't ever read it.
So it's your fault.
Have you ever just got
But ours is really hostile if you don't have your mask and wear it properly.
Yeah.
Fit right in some place.
That one's, that's not bad.
Which parts, which parts you want to take, which parts will you take?
Participation is normal. We do the adoption, agenda, approval minutes, approval claims, and then I can probably take most of it on out from here.
That's what you guys got for that.
Yes. Really short.
After you read your notes, then they usually don't copy, or make a copy and give it to Harry. You got some of this. Oh, yeah. I just think it's true.
So we're gonna get a new color code tomorrow.
Wednesday is my update notes.
Oh, that's right. So we lose.
Yeah.
So what's it look like in here?
Not right now, usually Sherry gives us the numbers that she has on Mondays and we do the math to kind of predict where we're gonna be Wednesday. And I didn't see the numbers today, so I have to see if, the superintendent's got it for her and it's math. Trent Lehman at Untitled, he's our math guy. So I don't know if he has them, and usually if he has them, he shares them.
tonight as we make decisions on behalf of our students and school and staff. Thank you for watching over us all. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, we're gonna call to order, 7:38. We've already got the roll call.
Yes. The board recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express concerns regarding agenda items. Comments will be limited to board meeting agenda items with a time limit of 3 to 5 minutes. Hearing that, is there anyone that wishes to address the board on an agenda item? Seeing none, we will move on.
It is recommended the agenda for September 14, 2020 meeting be approved as presented with additions, corrections, or deletions as recommended by the board. I need a motion. Matt? Second. Jared? Those in favor? 5-0. Pass. It is recommended that the minutes from the August 10th, 2020 meeting be approved as presented. Need a motion? Jared? Second. Ron? Those in favor? 5-0. It is recommended the claim numbers 12652 through
12794.
be approved as presented.
Dwayne, I have a question about one.
Yep.
Zero on the Santa Robinson,
Mhm.
12695, is that all related to the college construction?
Yes.
And then I had a question too, I just want to make sure, on the Matt Roberts, $7,541, does that finish out the $10,000 weight room remodel?
Yes.
Okay. That's the only thing I have. Anybody have any questions? All right. I need a motion. Jared? Second? Ron? Those in favor? 4. And those against? And those abstained? 1.
Personnel. Okay, ready for the personnel report? We have, under staff resignations, Brittany Groomer resigning as Title I Instructional Assistant effective September 11th, 2020. Michelle Walters, bus route position effective August 21st, 2020. Sarah Rigney, lead teaching position in the 4 or 5-year-old ELC classroom effective August 28th, 2020. Staff recommendations, we're recommending David Fields for a maintenance position. ECA recommendations, Ania Winders, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly. Volunteer dance team coaching position effective immediately. Eric Gilpin moving from middle school volunteer football coach to middle school assistant football coach immediately. Braden Gilpin moved from middle school volunteer football coach to middle school football coach immediately. And Dara James, 7th grade volleyball coach immediately. She is currently the 8th grade coach, so she will take both of those positions over. ECA resignations, Haley Bowersock, 7th grade volleyball coach effective immediately. And Jim Dwyer, middle school football coach effective immediately. Those are your personnel recommendations.
Yeah, I need a motion. Sure. Second. Matt? Any questions? Those in favor? 5-0.
Teacher appreciation grants, making the recommendation to re-adopt the teacher appreciation grant policy. There's no changes made to that, but state statute requires us to re-adopt that policy every year. And that is required in order to receive the grant. That's the money that the state gives us to reward teachers who are either effective or highly effective on their evaluation. So I am making that recommendation to re-adopt the teacher appreciation grant policy.
Okay, need a motion? Scott? Second? Jared? Those in favor? 5-0.
I'm making a recommendation to approve the textbook rental and student fees for elementary, middle school, and high school. I want to thank our administrators, administrative assistants, Amy Rogers, all the people that Carrie Helms, who had to take the time to figure out all the fees and the textbook rental and those sorts of things. So thank you very much to those people. So making the recommendation that you have in your packet for those fees.
Need a motion? Jared? Second? Scott? Those in favor? 5-0.
Next on the list, making a recommendation to adopt changes to the Eastern Green RISE evaluation plan and teacher effectiveness rubric. This is another thing that we have to look at yearly along with the teacher appreciation grant. This year, we did make a significant change that the state is allowing. We no longer have to have part of our plan student learning objectives. So, which in my opinion is actually a good thing. It kind of levels the playing field for all teachers. So from now on, our evaluation will be based solely off of the evaluations administrators do in teachers' classrooms. So I am making that recommendation to you for our new changes to the RISE evaluation plan.
Need a motion? Jared? Second? Scott? Those in favor? 5-0.
Next up, it's that time of the year when we are talking about school budget. So we have to conduct our public hearing on the 2021 budget. Basically, this is just a time if anybody wants to make any comments or ask any questions about the proposed budget. Really, it's just over the CPF plan and the bus replacement at this time, because obviously there's still some work that needs to be done, because our count day, student count day, is coming up Friday, and that will help us round out the budget. But CPF plan and bus replacement are on the school website. We also posted it on Gateway. We no longer have to advertise it in the paper, so that's why it's no longer in the paper, but it is on our website and on Gateway. If you've ever tried to get on there, it's not that easy to find, but it is on our website. So at this time, is there anyone that would like to speak about the 2021 budget? Okay, seeing none.
Okay, I need a motion. Jared? Second? Matt? Those in favor? 5-0.
And if you're looking for that on our school website, it is under, you go to the district tab, and then you go to budget information. It's right there. You can click on them, you can download them, you can print them off, whatever you need to do to look at them. Next up, Eastern Green substitute teachers. I am making a recommendation to increase pay for substitute teachers. After looking at research throughout the area, and not just Greene County, but surrounding counties, Southern Indiana, I was able to get a bunch of that information. The Southern Indiana Education Center was very helpful with that. I just felt we need to raise pay for substitute teachers. We were pretty low compared to a lot of places. Hopefully this will help us with substitute teachers, because we need them. We are definitely low on subs, and it makes it very hard when we have teachers that need to be out sick and helping take care of their families and things like that. So making a recommendation to raise that to 75 for a non-licensed, meaning they don't have a teacher's license, 85 if they're a licensed teacher, and 95 if they are a retired Eastern Green teacher. So that's the recommendation I would like to make to the board.
Motion, Scott. Second, Jared. Those in favor? 5-0.
Our next board meeting is supposed to fall on Monday of fall break. So after talking with the board about what we wanted to do there, I'm making the recommendation to move the next board meeting to October 7th from October 12th. So once again, that is moving the October board meeting to October 7th, and that's another important board meeting because that's where we will actually adopt our budget. So that's my recommendation.
Okay, those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, the motion first. Got ahead of myself. Matt? Second. Jared? Those in favor this time? 5-0.
Next up, making a recommendation to increase bus driver pay. Once again, did some research on what we pay compared to other corporations, not just Greene County, but surrounding counties, surrounding corporations. It was time to make a move there. So recommending increasing driver pay to $90 a day for anyone who has driven 0 to 9 years, and $100 a day for anyone who has driven 10 years or more.
Now, is that for driven, that's for Eastern Green specific, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Need a motion? Scott? Second. Jared? Those in favor? 5-0.
Before we go to late items, no, we're not ready for late items anyway.
That's all I
We got, yeah,
financial report.
I do want to say, hopefully everybody can realize what I'm trying to do, and as a board, we're trying to do is chip away at our different employee groups and trying to, increase pay where we can and where we can afford to. So I don't want anybody to think that we're looking at things with blinders on or not recognizing some of our different employee groups. We definitely are, and I'm just trying to chip away little by little, seeing where we can make those adjustments and those raises and seeing what we can afford to do. So I want everybody to know we appreciate seeing every single employee group we have, and we're going to try to keep compensating people fairly where we can and where we can afford to. So just wanted to make sure that everybody understood kind of what our goals are there. Next, ready for the annual financial report, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. Make a recommendation to approve the publishing of the 2020 annual financial report. We actually have already done that, but we need the board's approval to do that. So we are retroactively getting your approval to approve the 2020 financial report, actually the publishing of that. So that's my motion, or that's my recommendation.
Need a motion? Jared? Second. Matt? Those in favor? 5-0.
Okay. Donations, take these one at a time since they have, no, we're gonna do all of them.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. Motion to approve the following donation from Infinity Solutions Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $1,700 to be used by the high school basketball cheer team to help purchase uniforms and supplies. Next up, motion to approve the following donation from Eastern Green Boys Biddy Ball in the amount of $400 to Eastern Green Middle School Athletics. Donation to be used by the Middle School Athletic Department to purchase a new scoreboard controller. And motion to approve a donation from Eastern Green PTO in the amount of $400 to Eastern Green Elementary. Donation will be used to purchase toys for recess. We thank you, all those groups very much for those donations.
Need a motion? Scott? Second. Jared? Those in favor? 5-0.
Now, we have late items. Recommendation to approve Casey Hall for the instructional assistant position for the 2021 school year. That is at the elementary level. Casey's actually currently a substitute teacher for Eastern Green, so we have some experience seeing her in action.
Need a motion? Jared? Second? Okay, Ron? Those in favor? 5-0.
Next up, we have a recommendation to approve girls basketball volunteer positions. Those are Grace Branson, Abby Rogers, and Kelsey Andres.
Need a motion? Jared? Second? Matt? Those in favor? 5-0.
Okay. Next up, we have discussion and information items. So, principals. We'll start with Mrs. Gibney. You want to give us any information about the elementary?
Sure. Yeah, so at the elementary, we have been awarded almost $5,000 from the Greene County Foundation. And this money will support our social emotional framework that we're building. And our teachers, really a lot of our staff met in July to work together to start building this framework, building a common language for our students so that they can be healthy socially and emotionally. And so these dollars will go a long way. We are in the process of creating a calming room in the intermediate and the primary hallway. So these funds from the foundation will allow us to buy supplies for those classrooms. Teachers have also been given money so that they can buy supplies for their classrooms, so students can have those supplies for calming and things that will help them so that they can focus on learning. And I just want to thank the community because we have had so many donations this school year, from masks to recess toys, and then of course the PTO donated dollars that we could spend, and the teachers have been able to choose what they can spend that money on for recess items as well, for outdoor and indoor recess. So I want to thank the community for all their donations, thank our students for doing such a good job wearing masks and following all the new guidelines, and then thanking our teachers for all the hard work and the creativity that they've put into this school year to make everything work.
Amanda, can I ask you a question? I hate to put you on the spot.
It's okay.
And Eric and Patrick can talk about this as well.
Uh-huh.
Now that we're a month into this, how is Nurse Debbie handling all the changes that come with what she has to do?
She has been extremely busy, but she's handling it like a trooper, and she's had a lot on her plate. But I think that she's starting to get her routine and find her way with all these guidelines. They changed, here and there throughout the beginning of the year, but she's been a trooper. So.
I'll answer your question first. I don't know what we do without her. Yeah, I really don't. I think she's probably arguably doing the hardest job in all three schools right now. And she's got a lot on her plate, and she's so organized, and she communicates so well. So I think she's doing awesome. I'm glad you asked, actually. We should celebrate her for sure. Wrote a few things down as always. Thank you to the teachers for their hard work with the parent-teacher conferences last week. We had between 98 and 99% participation, and that was by phone, so I think that's pretty impressive. Sometimes that's actually harder than being in person, believe it or not. Thank you to Jim Dwyer for stepping in, doing 5th grade maternity leave. He's doing a fine job, and we like having him at the middle school. Thank you to our fall coaches for their hard work they put into the teams. It's been kind of a roller coaster. It's been weird with COVID and everything, people cancel, and then we have to try to switch things around. Thanks to Sandy as well. I mean, dealing with all that, they've done really well. Had picture day on September 1st. It was a success. I thought we signed with a new company, Pettit, out of Terre Haute. I had a previous relationship with them at my stop at Owen County for 4 years, and they just had a really low price point, and I think that helped our families. That's kind of what I was looking for financially anyway. Thank you to Sandy Yoho. She came in a few minutes ago. Cookie dough fundraiser. How much was it, Sandy?
The 8th grade ended up doing about $8,000, which goes to their DC trip, and the middle school combined 5 through 7 did about $13,000 maybe? 13,000 something.
Awesome. And these days.
And I thought it would be down, and we actually did quite well, so thank you to the kids.
Yeah, definitely. I have down here too, thanks to Sandy and Valeriella for counting all the money. I wouldn't want to do that at all. Been in the classrooms for walkthroughs. I'm really impressed by the instruction going on in the building. Like Amanda said, the way everybody has embraced wearing of the mask. Everybody's just right back into it, like we never missed fourth quarter, we never missed a beat. And I'm really proud of that. Just a quick plug for subs. Any of you that know anybody that would want to substitute, send them our way. Doesn't matter if it's elementary, middle, or high school. We definitely need some subs. Midterms went out. That was a success. Thank you to Tessa Wolfger for working through our new ALMA system to figure that out. That was interesting, but Tessa marched through it and did a great job. Give a shout out to Megan Kelly and her staff in the cafe for Charlie Wills for their hard work. The fact, I never thought that I would ever see a day where we're able to give kids breakfast and lunch for free. And that's neat. That's a really neat thing. And the kids have embraced it. We only had a few, and now there's tons. And I think by the time it's over, almost everybody will embrace it. I think it's a neat thing. And I think from what I understand, we have at least lunch until about Christmas time, right?
Yeah, through the first semester.
I mean, that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. So that's something to celebrate if you guys want to talk positively about the school. Fall break is October 12th to 16th. Not that we're looking forward to that. I just wanted to announce that fall break is the 12th through the 16th. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I was quite winded, so I figured I'd just write it all down. And to answer your question, at the high school, it's Nurse Marianne and Nurse Melissa. I can't say enough about these ladies. They're fantastic. Not only are they willing to step in and take on more jobs, but their job is also currently evolving too, especially with some of the new programs and stuff that we've been implementing. So, and I certainly was planning on acknowledging them tonight. So, while uncertainty lingers outside our four walls, inside Eastern Green High School, it is business as usual. Our classes are well underway with a renewed focus on school spirit, led by our new student council sponsor, Miss Emily Black. Other groups such as FFA, sponsored by Cassie Lehman, and BC2M, sponsored by Gina Ingram, are looking to host events like Trunk or Treat and potentially a hog roast for the community. We have several large athletic events coming our way as well. Girls golf sectionals will be at the end of this week. We are hosting our first ever cross-country meet at the new high school location, the new high school's location this week. And we are hosting volleyball sectionals over fall break. I would also encourage everyone to come out to homecoming on September 25th, provided that state regulations allow us to move forward in that capacity. There are three groups that I did want to acknowledge. The first one was actually my office staff for their incredible patience. They are learning a new nursing program, a new school and student information system, a new subsystem. They are incredibly patient with me and with all the other issues that they face on a daily basis. So I'm really indebted to them. Like Mr. Alt, I'd like to thank Ms. Megan Kelly and her cafeteria staff. She's been working hard to make sure all of our students are well fed. Her staff is fantastic, and they have some of the best relationships with our students, which is really wonderful to see. We are able to provide each student a free breakfast, dinner, and more recently, free lunch. So I'm really incredibly encouraged there. Finally, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our students. They have been so diligent in wearing their masks and doing the social distancing. They have taken to the changes that we've made and made them in stride, recognizing that our entire staff is working to their benefit. We've had zero issues as far as discipline is concerned, and quite honestly, they've approached some of these new requirements better than adults. So I'm incredibly proud of them for their maturity and their response to duty as young citizens. So, thank you.
School board, just real quickly, I don't know how it got left off, but it did. We do not have on the agenda the approval of our e-learning guidelines. I don't know how it got left off, but it did. So if you're comfortable with me making that recommendation, I would like to do that.
We have an item number there.
Yeah, Jill, what do you want to number that? You want to put it under?
It'll have to go under discussion after that. Well, no.
Add it to the late
We'll do it.
items.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it late items.
4027-3.
Yeah. Did you get that, Jill?
Say that again.
4029-14-4027-3.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Okay. So, just for everybody in the audience, we have been working over the past few months on creating an e-learning, basically policy, but I'd like to call it more guidelines. We would like to move toward e-learning for inclement weather. We're talking, snow days, possible fog days if we get fogged out, even a situation, schools lose power, whatever, we can't be in school. We're looking at moving toward what would be considered e-learning. We know we're not one-to-one yet. We know we still face some connectivity issues with some families, but as you will see in the guidelines that all families will get, there are parameters for kids who might not have that capability, and they will get the materials they need at some point. They will be able to get those assignments done and that sort of thing. But more and more schools are going toward e-learning, and we felt this is the direction we wanted to go in. So once we get this approved, I've got all kinds of nice reading material for teachers and parents and students to take a look at. And I think it'll be beneficial for us in the long run. So with that being said, I'd like to make the recommendation to the board that we adopt our e-learning guidelines.
Okay, need a motion? Scott? Need a second? Jared? Those in favor? 5-0.
And then just one real quick last thing before we adjourn. I haven't even told my administrators about this yet, but I got a nice little surprise, I'd say about a week ago. I know a lot of us already know we received the GEAR grant from the state, which the governor put out. We received about $276,000. We wrote a county-wide grant worth over $1 million, but our part of that was about $276,000, which got us some more Chromebooks and things like that. Well, what I haven't told the administrators is we actually applied for the grant countywide, but we also applied for one that the SIEC, Southern Indiana Education Center, was putting together, because you could apply and be part of more than one grant. Well, the SIEC was able to get their grant funded also, but obviously they took us out of theirs because we got the Greene County one. What I didn't realize is, though, that you can be part of two grants as long as they're going for different things. So the Greene County grant, all of our PD that we put in for got cut. So we weren't able to provide PD on, distance learning and virtual learning for teachers. Well, through the one funded through SIEC, we were actually awarded that amount to get us PD. And I double checked to make sure we can do both. And I was told absolutely we can be part of these two different funding types. So the fact that we funded devices through the Greene County grant, and the fact that we're going to do PD through this other one, we can get both sets of money. So we're going to be able to provide PD for teachers and staff on distance learning, which is very exciting. I have a webinar coming up on Thursday where I learn more about how much we get and how we go about spending that, and if there's any parameters of who we have to use for PD and that sort of thing. So I want to make sure everybody heard that. It's kind of an exciting announcement that I just found out about. So that's all I have at this time.
Okay, Rob? Jared? Matt? Scott? All right, we will adjourn at 8:07. Need a motion? Jared? Second? Matt? Those in favor? 5-0. Meeting adjourned.
Thanks everybody for coming.